Okay, you guys, we're going to have to cancel the lie detection for Brad, Virginia, and Magnus because they haven't done it yet. It doesn't mean that they're guilty. I've been having long conversations with them, and I'm just saying I thought it would be so easy, just make a flat statement about what happened and how you feel about it, and they are. I think they may be suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not a psychiatrist, but everything that I have suggested to them, I said, just maybe we could make a written statement, and they're just hedging about everything. They're very nervous about going under the lie detection and I guess having to rehash the horrors of what they went through at the Arlington camp and at the Frisco camp. Can you imagine what it must be like to go into a concentration camp or a death camp, okay, and view the horrors there, and you barely escape with your life, and then when you get out, the perpetrators have the gall to insinuate that you did it, that you were behind the camps? It's no wonder they're traumatized. Yeah. Like I said, I have made mistakes. Like in the past, I accused my sister of being a psychopath, and she turned out to be schizophrenic. But I have recommended that they go in. I said, let's cancel the lie detection. They're just putting it off and putting it off. They're putting it off and putting it off. And, it's very possible that if somebody is suffering PTSD, I don't know. Yeah. Virginia said she hasn't gone into the lie detection yet. I'm not sure about Magnus and Brad, but I am sensing a lot of anger. I'm sensing a lot of anger. That often happens with PTSD. I'll just give you like an overview of post-traumatic stress disorder. I kind of looked this up. I'm not an expert. But it is a mental health condition that's caused by an extremely stressful or terrifying event, either being part of it or witnessing it. Well, they have certainly been through something like that. Symptoms may include flashbacks, nightmares, severe anxiety, and uncontrollable thoughts about the event. Most people who go through traumatic events may have a hard time adjusting and coping for a short time. But with time, actually Magnus admitted to me when he barely escaped with his life. I mean, they injected him with something, from the Arlington concentration camp, that he needed some time to adjust to this. I said, take a vacation, take time off, and go meditate with Buddha. And he meditated with Buddha all day. But I don't think he's completely over it yet. But with time and taking good care of themselves, they usually get better. If the symptoms get worse, last for months or years, and affect their ability to function daily, they may have PTSD. Like to me, because I don't suffer PTSD right now because I wasn't there, okay? To me, it seems like they're making a mountain out of a molehill. Couldn't they just get on television, do the lie detection, and boom, it's over with? But if they're suffering from PTSD over this, it wouldn't be so simple for them. Yeah. Yeah. So I told them, just forget this stupid case. No. Like I said, we are at war with the enemy, okay? So I said, don't worry about the lie detection. I told them they can go into Gerard Butler for treatment, and if he chooses to release to the public some of the results of his counseling sessions, so be it. If not, we're not going to worry about it. So the lie detection for them is canceled. You saw the lie detection results for me, and that should be enough. Okay? Yeah. Post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms may start within the first 3 months after a traumatic event, but sometimes symptoms may not appear until years after the event. These symptoms last more than 1 month and may cause major problems in social or work situations. I have noticed that they're very worried about their social connections. And yeah, they seem to be having this problem and how well you get along with others. They can also affect your ability to do your usual daily tasks. Maybe this explains why something that seems so simple for me is a big issue for them. Generally, PTSD symptoms are grouped into 4 types: intrusive memories, avoidance. I'm definitely seeing a lot of avoidance here. Negative changes, and I've been talking to them. Negative changes in thinking and mood, and changes in physical and emotional reactions. Symptoms can vary over time and vary from person to person. I know from talking with Magnus, he seems really angry. Because I told him, well, if you take too long to respond, they're going to think that you're hedging because you're guilty. And he came back and he said, this is our timetable, not theirs. They don't... Angry. Can you really blame him, though? They injected him. They made him go unconscious. I said, forget the stupid trial, okay? They need to get better. They were traumatized. You can also have intrusive memories. Intrusive memories may include unwanted, distressing memories of a traumatic event that come back over and over again. Reliving a traumatic event as if it were happening again, also known as flashbacks. Upsetting dreams or nightmares about a traumatic event. Severe emotional distress or physical reactions to something that reminds you of a trauma. Obviously, if we put them under lie detection and cause them to try to relive these things, that would be in making the intrusive memories worse. Avoidance. Yeah, they're doing the avoidance for sure. They're putting off this stuff. Symptoms of avoidance may include trying not to think or talk about a traumatic event. Yeah, they don't. Can you see why they won't do it? Staying away from places, activities, or people that remind you of a traumatic event. Negative changes in thinking and mood. Symptoms of negative changes in thinking and mood may include negative thoughts about yourself, other people, or the world. Ongoing negative emotions of fear, blame, guilt, anger, or shame. Memory problems, including not remembering important aspects of a traumatic event. Feeling detached from family and friends. It just occurred to me, if they're suffering from PTSD, putting them under lie detection to try to recall all this is just totally inappropriate. Okay? And we're not going to subject them to this. And the reason I say this is if they're suffering PTSD, they're probably going to want to avoid even thinking about this. Okay? So if you ask them a question, they may want to just lie about it just because they don't want to think about it. You know what I mean? And then they're going to fail lie detection when they're not guilty. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm thinking we might want to just skip it for them. I think my testimony should be sufficient. Because they're claiming I'm the leader of this evil ring. And from what I understand, I passed lie detection with flying colors. Symptoms of negative changes in thinking and mood may include negative thought. Okay, I already said that. Okay. Being easily startled or frightened. They seem like they're really on edge when I've been dealing with them. Because I'm thinking like, what's wrong? It's so simple. Just say you didn't do it. I go, oh, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? They definitely seem to be suffering PTSD to me. Self-destructive behavior such as drinking too much or driving too fast. I don't know if they're doing that. I don't think so. Hopefully, since I've noticed this, maybe by encouraging them all to go to see Gerard Butler for treatment, we can nip this in the bud. Trouble sleeping, trouble concentrating, irritability, angry outbursts or aggressive behavior. I'm definitely sensing a lot of anger. Physical reactions such as sweating, rapid breathing, fast heartbeat, or shaking. Okay, there you go. If we put them under lie detection and force them to answer questions, okay, about what they went through, they're probably going to start, if they're suffering from PTSD, they're probably going to start sweating, rapid breathing, fast heartbeat, shaking, and they're going to think, oh no! We're not going to do this to them, okay? Just take my word for it, okay? I've been dealing with them. I have very high emotional intelligence. They are not guilty, okay? You all can put me under lie detection, okay, right now. I do not believe that they are guilty. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know their past history, okay? But I really don't think they're guilty of any of the crimes that the enemy accuses them of. I mean, I'll be honest with you, like all of us, okay? Like all of us, they've probably done some things they shouldn't have done. Like I know Virginia is a gypsy, okay? And I don't know, to be honest with you, I don't know much about gypsies. But just because they're not perfect does not mean that they are guilty of the horrendous crimes that the enemy accuses them of. Okay? Other symptoms of PTSD: reenacting a traumatic event or aspects of a traumatic event through play, frightening dreams that may or may not include aspects of a traumatic event, intensity of symptoms. So anyways, yeah, I think they are suffering from PTSD. I myself, I'm not saying they're perfect, okay? Just like I'm not saying Zach Knight is perfect or Laurie McBride is perfect. God knows they're not perfect. Or that I'm perfect, okay? But just because we're not perfect, just because we've made mistakes, just because we've been brain controlled into doing some things, does not mean that we were behind these compassion centers or that we're part of a conspiracy, or that we rejoiced in the deaths of the Indians or the people who died in these places. I honestly don't believe that Virginia, Brad, or Magnus were happy about what they saw in these places. And they certainly were not part of a massive conspiracy to cause those horrendous things to happen. Okay? So, yeah. You guys are just going to have to settle for my statements because they're too traumatized to undergo lie detection right now. Okay? And a lawyer on your team, as I have stated in my last video, we are at war with you. We are your victims. Okay? Just because they went into a death camp to try and go in there and save somebody from it and ended up becoming a victim themselves. And because they were framed so that their car was somehow stolen from them and rammed into the building does not mean they're guilty or that they created this place. So it's canceled. I would like to remind you that we are at war with these brain-controlling thugs, the automatons, the Jesuits, and the thin privileged terrorist movement. And any willing and knowing brain control supporter will be executed. As far as a Holocaust, they claim that we're trying to start one. I've got news for you. It's already started. I suspect that they have already murdered millions and replaced them with their clones. It's already started. I think we just had a major victory because I hear the government shutdown has ended. In fact, I believe that if we didn't attempt to feed the hungry. And if I didn't expose them for what they did, it's very possible the government shutdown would not have ended. Okay, I'm going to go now. I have stuff to do, but no, we will not be going to court. It's wrong to force a victim into court for an outrageous charge. Okay? Another thing, if any lawyer or judge comes to Church of Gail with any type of subpoena or order for us to go to court over any of these compassion centers, which I have had nothing to do with, okay? And which Brad, Virginia, and Magnus had nothing to do with. We will do a scan. We insist that we can do a scan on you to determine if you are a willing and knowing brain control supporter. If you are not willing to undergo this scan, then we will have to rightly assume that you are a terrorist. And you will be treated as such, working for them, the ones who are behind these compassion centers. Furthermore, if you are willing to undergo the scan and you insist that we continue with this case, which has already traumatized us unbelievably, in which case I'm going to recommend that the judge and the lawyer undergo psychiatric therapy under Gerard Butler, because we think you must be insane or under brain control to pursue such outrageous charges against us. And because we think you have to be insane or retarded to bring such outrageous charges against us. And if we determine that you are indeed insane or under brain control or retarded and bringing these charges against us, we will take your law license from you. You're going to lose your license to practice law. What they're doing to us is the equivalent. Imagine a lawyer from Hitler's team, okay? Or imagine a lawyer from Hitler's team. Hitler just took over Germany, right? Okay? And he sends a lawyer maybe to one of the Jews and says, you did these camps, and we're going to take you to court. Let's say the camps have just got started and a Jew went into a camp and saw what was happening and he tried to stop it and he ended up being a victim. And now they're going to drag him into court and say he did it. That's basically what they're doing to us. Yeah. Wouldn't you feel that any such lawyer who would dare drag a Jew to court right before the Nazis took power to blame them for the death camps because maybe the Jew caught them before they got widespread, and now they were going to say the Jew did it? Huh? You say it's not the same. It's the same thing. Shouldn't that lawyer or judge be given the death penalty if they did it willingly and knowingly? And if they were insane or retarded and honestly believed that the Jew was behind putting his fellow Jews in the concentration camp, he should lose his license to practice law. So there you go. I don't want to hear anything more about this. You bring it up, we're going to treat you as a war criminal. Or you will lose your license to practice law. Have a nice day.
In a world of secrets, where darkness reigns, there's a warrior